Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's see who we got in chat. Laura, hello. Good to see you. Noni, hello. Ginger, howdy. Just chatted with Brenda Joe a little bit ago. Guys, keep her in your prayers. She has been dealing with some stuff that's not been fun. So, I don't think she's up to coming in. I'd be surprised if she does, but keep her in your prayers. I hate that she's not feeling good. She usually comes back to the house every week, and she hasn't been here. Noni, you're so sweet. So, yes, tonight I'm still continuing our discussion on Sebastian. I can't not talk about him, guys. It's too difficult, but I'm behind on other videos that I also need to do as well. So there's been a couple of, I don't know, do you want to say new developments? I don't know if they're really clues, developments. I don't know. You can decide for yourself. We can figure it out together, right? So there was, well, I know last night Justin showed an email that he received from a source. I'm not going to show that email, even though I know a lot of people have, but I'm not going to do it because I don't know. There may be legal ramifications in sharing that kind of thing. And the only reason I say that is because I had an email. I had chatted with an investigator in the Emma Baum case, right? And at the bottom of the email, it specifically says the information in this email is only for the person it's addressed to, cannot be copied, anything else, right? And I think that's pretty standard when an email is sent from any police department. So I don't want to be doing something that's not right. But in any case, the email pretty much stated that what Chris has alleged all this time about, I can't say this because law enforcement doesn't want me to. Detective Carter said in the email that no, they cannot tell anybody not to speak about anything they, want to talk about. So, then there's not been a gag order or anything put on this case because it hasn't gone to court or anything like that. So we found Chris in another lie, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I read it because I was asked to share it. And I was like, "Oh, nope, not gonna do that." Because I don't want to go to jail. Yeah. So, and if you see any screenshots of that, you see right at the top where you can click and it said something about, let me look here. I know where it is. I'm not going to show it, but I just want to see what it said so I can tell you. Yeah. Under, there's the date, and then it says standard encryption, and it says view security details. And you can click on that, right? So, or well, you should be able to click on that if you're if you've gotten if the email was forwarded to you or whatever, right? If it was a screenshot, then no, you're not going to be able to click on it. But what that tells me is could be an issue. Am I saying Justin's in trouble? No, I'm not. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying I'm not going to show it because I would not want to be in trouble for anything like that. There also was another short clip that came out that I kind of wanted to share and talk with you guys. And we're also going to listen to the dispatch audio after it because I think there may be something in there that relates in the dispatch audio that relates to the video I'm showing you. It's all going to make sense. Don't worry. Hello, K9. Good to see you. Happy you're here. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and we're going to watch the short clip. There. I know it's not very, it's kind of blurry, but that's all right.
Year-old now missing for over a day. It's up in Hendersonville. Many agencies are involved in this search. Jaxie Pigeons along Long Hollow Pike following these efforts for us.
O'Neill, TBI, the Tennessee Highway Patrol, Nashville Fire, Shackle Island Fire, as well as Sumner County Sheriff's Office, all coming together to help find 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. Like you said, he has been missing for over 24 hours, as they've last seen him walking out of his house around midnight. Now, Sebastian is 5'5" and weighs 120 pounds with dirty blonde hair.
Did y'all catch that? Did you jump over? Year-old now missing for over a day. It's up in Hendersonville. Many agencies are involved in this search. Jaxie Pigeons along Long Hollow Pike following these efforts for us.
O'Neill, TBI, the Tennessee Highway Patrol, Nashville Fire, Shackle Island Fire, as well as Sumner County Sheriff's Office, all coming together to help find 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. Like you said, he has been missing for over 24 hours, as they've last seen him walking out of his house around midnight. Now, Sebastian is 5'5" and weighs 120 pounds with dirty blonde hair.
Did y'all catch that? Did you jump over? Year-old now missing for over a day. It's up in Hendersonville.
Okay, it keeps going over and over. All right, so did you hear that, guys? Could you hear that all right? It seemed like it was quiet to me. I don't know if it was to you or not. Got your haircut, huh, K9? Yeah, Ginger, it's been going around. Been getting notifications in our town Facebook group that there's a lot of people going to the walk-in and to emergency, and please try to treat your symptoms at home if you're able. Stay away kind of thing, which is not ever a good thing, right? It means it's taking over the town. So I'll just stay in my little house. So, yes, Sebastian was last seen walking out of his house at midnight, walking down Long Hollow Pike. Isn't that what they said? So let's just look at that once. Try to find it here. Okay. So, right here is his house, right? And here is Long Hollow Pike, which, I mean, that's not that far. But, you know, what happened to that, right? And this was a local channel that said this. So I was just wondering, let's see. Walking out of his house around midnight. Yeah. So what I thought we'd do is go ahead and listen to the dispatch, right? Because this is as it happened. And they did mention several different times where they heard Sebastian, or where they thought they had sightings. Well, I'm just trying to think. We'll listen to the dispatch, but that's really just not going to tell us anything about the night before, is it? Let's just hear what it has to say anyway. Check this tab.
Heading missing 1008 Stafford Court, 1008 Stafford Court, Hendersonville. Caller advised that their 15-year-old male is not in the bed. We are white male, 30 blonde hair, approximately 5 foot, 120 pounds. I was going to be wearing a black
Wow,
sweatshirt, black
Caroline,
sweatpants.
that's crazy.
Juvenile does have a form of autism. This is the first time it happened. I was going to be in the home before midnight. The doors are locked at this time.
Did Foreman out?
Central to 47-180, 412. Juvenile left his son at the house. The mother is driving around looking for him in the Victoria Place subdivision, and she is driving a baby blue Infiniti.
Let's get there and see what's going on. Do our own search of the residence. We'll go from there. I'm in the area. Check one hold up. Just seeing it. You can take the assist line route to the missing juvenile.
I took personal medical center ER, Center Station ER, Sumner Regional ER, and Skyline, all clear of the juvenile. You can see that the code red has been on.
I agree, Canine.
Next big track back up, going into the construction site over here, back towards the beach.
It's awful muddy. Do you see any footprints, anything? Couldn't have any shoes.
Doug, I do have some footprints.
Right there where you're standing?
Yeah, leading right over here to the retaining.
No shoes, just footprints?
He literally dove into it. Max led me straight to the retaining pond. He dove into the water.
Yeah, do you see any prints around it?
There was a few footprints in some of the softer dirt headed straight this way on the track that he was running.
Do we have a picture yet? What was that heat signature at? Where the riprap is, where the trees are. 25 feet maybe out in the middle. Hey guys, the construction zone, there's another pond. There's somebody standing in the woods. It looks like a person. It is a person, we know, but there's another pond. He's standing back there by himself. Past the construction zone, in the same area back there. Yeah, the north end of it, yeah. Down over here, go straight back. There's a person in the woods by that pond. There's the house on the other side of the tree line. Going back toward beach or going on the back side? Yeah, on the back side, and he's not moving. He's just standing there by himself in the woods.
It's Hendersonville 517. I'm on the northeast corner in the cemetery across the tree line. Am I close?
No, the back side. Nikki, if you can, do you have anybody there with you? Stand by. Let me see if I can find it on my map. I got my drone grounded for the moment, and I'll see if I can do it. Target's over. One of the two. I'm in my truck. Two, there's four of us on foot coming across the yard. Start directions. 19's on the screen. Straight in, straight in. Keep it on. Go left, go left. Just come back, you passed it. There's an office right. Won't be there. Won't as you going. Into the woods. You should be about 15 foot from it.
What's the child's first name?
Should be all over it, whatever it is right there. The two people walking the woods. It's a mannequin. Sorry, guys. Look just like a person from the air. Hendersonville 66. What's the name of the child that we're looking for?
First name is Pat.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
First name is Pat.
They're sent out. They don't even know the name of the kid they're looking for. There's a mannequin in the woods, guys. What the heck? What the heck is wrong with Tennessee? Why is there a mannequin standing in the woods? Who would do that? I know. They just came flying in and jumped in, going house to house without a picture or a scent of Sebastian. Nothing. No rhyme or reason as to where they were going or what they were doing. They were chasing this mannequin down. I mean, how much more inept can you get? Yeah. No words.
Last clothing description was black sweatpants with a white stripe, black long sleeve t-shirt with a print.
Nikki, how many drones do y'all have up? One at the moment. I've got mine grounded so I can get Sartopo up. I'll be back in the air momentarily.
29 Central on scene. Put 2 out here with me.
And for has anybody been there since the initial? There's a whole bunch of people here now. 4 in the morning. Can you help me listen to the
A whole
radio
bunch of people.
North End until we wrap this up, please?
4 of them and the mom.
Yes, sir. Brandon, you've got Hendersonville Mounted Patrol coming up there, and Joe's sending some more cars if we can start from the beginning, from the original house, and set up a new plan up there. 10-4, that's what we're doing now, sir. Thank you.
One to all you. So neighbor advised that he's found the child under his son's car, which is across the street, 2 doors up. So be sure and search under cars and under things.
Who do you want to go with this other K9 search and rescue?
I just talked to the G.
Okay, that's kind of contrary to what Chris and Katie told us about Sebastian, is it not? They said he never went outside, the neighbors didn't know anybody, blah, blah, blah. But this clearly said a neighbor said he's found him under his car before. I know. Tennessee and the mannequins. Yeah. They didn't even know who they were looking for. Now I realize, kids should have been in school, but still, they didn't even have a picture. So Seth would be one of them by 8:30. So the other 3 would be, well, we know Kathy was there before Seth got there, I think. Seth said, didn't he? So they said, yeah, 4 others and the mom. Yeah, now they're setting up a plan. No. Did they even know his age? Oh, the neighbor did say later that it wasn't Sebastian under his car. Well, I mean, and that's the thing. They didn't have pictures when they were going around, right? Talking to the neighbors. They had no clue because they didn't even know his name. It amazing to me. You'd think they would have all gone to the house and gotten with her, gotten picture, And then, send somebody to have copies made of it real quickly, right? And make a plan on where they were going to look. So Kathy, Melissa, Katie, and Seth. Yeah, probably. I still don't understand why the huge LE turnout for a runaway. My daughter ran away once and they sent one officer. It is a big response, yeah. And it's not normal. I will tell you that, because my stepson ran away in Sumner County in Portland. They didn't have a big, huge search for him at all. But they knew he was a troubled kid, right? I mean, we were honest with him. We told him he was trouble. Not a big turnout. My opinion, the only reason for that big turnout is because of the Proudfoot and the Bower Sox connections in the community. The only way I could put it nicely. Yeah, most of the neighbors didn't even know a kid lived there. Yep. That's crazy. Let's continue on.
You see the construction bacteria is going to start getting the word out to all these crews that are out here working.
Everybody, 94 to 1,000. So we can get a game plan and reconvene.
Target, can you?
I just want to bring something up about the construction crew, right? Because I did hear not that long ago that maybe, I don't even know. I know that they didn't stop working right away, right? Moving dirt around and that kind of thing. How much that would have been key, I don't know. I mean, I think, when you see Sebastian in that Texas Roadhouse video, I mean, he knew how to order his own food. He knew how to read a menu. He seemed like a fairly normal young man, right? High functioning, right? Did he have quirks or problems? Yeah, I'm sure that he did. But I don't think that he would have been hiding under a dirt pile. He didn't like to be dirty or anything like that. But you just question why they would continue doing that kind of stuff if they thought maybe he was in that area. I don't know.
You put a drone right over top of this trash can, this dumpster, if there's anything in it. 188. Van 184 is going to send you a picture.
You send out a code red for 1,008 Stafford.
Code red was sent out at 0745 this morning.
2-4.
Hello, Poppy.
We will stand that in good. Can we retry
Hello,
that, please?
Cheryl.
10-4, love it.
12 188.
Go ahead, sir. Can you come to 1,008, please? 12 to any units that are going to be assisting with 1,008. Please come to 1,008 Stafford Court now, please.
Start at the beginning of Kelly Lane 1000. We're going to work our way north of Kelly Lane. That's fine. I'll get these two houses right here, and we'll take the right side. The white Ford truck, that's the Hendersonville officer's house that's with me. No, that house hasn't been checked. The next house up from is a see the white Ford in the driveway.
We log a neighborhood Facebook page. Post was made 1023. Check. No motion on camera.
So, unit on Stafford. Get an additional caller call in that was in the net. stating she saw someone that made the description on Hogan's Branch, male with sandy blonde hair, with a bag wrapped around his head. She also stated he had on a reflective jacket approximately 2 hours ago.
3 command. 139 World End has a camera, but nobody's answering the door. He had some ties at White House High School, and every time he got in trouble, he wanted to go back to White House, so I notified White House PD, and we're notifying this SRO.
10-4. 10-4, that was the camera, is correct?
It's 10-4. Nobody's answering, nobody's home. In reference to that address, please run a registration check.
Messenger, I was thinking the same thing.
What's going to say?
Access at 2012 BMW, 7-digit black in color, registered.
I don't know, K9. I didn't really follow that case closely.
Confirmed NSR.
Correct. When you can't see it, you can find any information. I'm sure we can look up on a phone number or something. We would appreciate it.
Command units that are at Stafford Court. When you check a residence, please give me the numeric and unit numbers that have checked it and whether or not you made contact with anybody.
Made contact with 1000 Killing Lane. He checked all of his cameras. Nothing was on. No answer at 102 or 103 Killing Lane. 105 answered, hasn't seen it. Nothing on ring doorbell.
10-4, and you're saying 102 is at 1002?
1002, I'm sorry.
Did you ask if he had any white purple hoodie?
I don't know if the parents will know, but just found out if he owns a light purple hoodie with home or something like that.
Can I ask?
Mom doesn't advise us to call them.
Yeah.
They were at Dragon Square last night, just bowling at them. Do you have a unit go there? Make sure that he hasn't returned there.
1015 had ring cameras, but didn't pick up anything.
517 Hendersonville is with me. 1000 contact, hasn't seen anything either, nothing on ring doorbell. 1012 Killing Lane through 20. 1012 go through the entire.
Okay, here's my question. This is all going pretty fast. How are they checking those Ring doorbell cameras that quickly? Am I being... You know what I'm saying, guys? How are they going to these homes, talking to these people, and checking these Ring doorbell cams for all night long? That quickly. That could very well be, Noni. You know, I mean, the story the newscaster reported was the story first told to a possible CP connection to LE. Could very well be. Yeah, they're not checking them. There's no way. This is all going too fast. I mean, it's coming in boom, 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 boom. There's no freaking way that they did that. Is that why video camera footage has been coming out later? Makes me wonder.
The lady at 1032 Kellen runs the neighborhood Facebook page.
Exactly.
And she's updating it to request people to look in their crawl spaces and hidden areas. Hey, on at 1000 in Killing Lane, did y'all happen to check the crawl space? I will have to check my list, but if it wasn't locked from the outside, it was checked.
1018 Stafford. They are reviewing their camera footage right now.
I need some check contact and they cameras checked. No, that's fine.
184 your low volume. I got cameras checked.
Well, 1018.
And I'll be out at St. John Missionary, 1085.
Resident at 1028 Killing Lane states that he just saw a kid with a black shirt, black shorts, had a phone in his hand coming across the construction. When he made contact with this gentleman, the subject went straight back to the woods at the top of Kellen Lane. I just talked to him. He's one helping. Well, thank you.
12 units. When you're done with your assignment, please come back to 1008 Stafford. 2023,
Then one of Bobby's
24.
kids.
18 and 16 Stafford, laboring cameras, nothing's been called. Operations have started at Willow Bend Drive. St. John Baptist is clear all the way along. And then the dumpsters and both police buses have been cleared also. They're making that.
10-4. Are you going back to Stafford Court?
Still on search.
Exactly, Noni.
General area.
1026. Kellen Lane, no contact. 1028, made contact, nothing on their cameras. And 1030,
No freaking way.
contact, nothing on their cameras, and nothing in the treehouse behind the house.
10-4.
68, man. All houses on Kellen Lane have been checked.
And Ray, those woods on that side of,
10:39 a.m.
Long
All
Hollow, we
houses
were able
on
to fly
Kellen
through
Lane
due to the distance with the drop.
have been checked. That is complete bull. Do you guys believe that? All houses on Kellen Lane have been checked and all cameras on Kellen Lane by 10:32. When they didn't even start it until what? It was 9:45 or something, wasn't it? There's no way. Unless they had one officer for each house. That would be the only way, and I don't think that was a given because they probably don't have that many officers.
So those big woods that's south of the house, we have been able to get chisel. All the properties on Vandy Wood Court have been checked. We're starting on Honeysuckle now.
Yeah, that's 3293, Long Hollow Pike, beyond the creek, and checking that cave behind the house.
I'm almost back to the house. Meet my partner.
We crawled back into the cave as far as I could go before it got muddy. No footprints, and it's collapsed only in about 10 feet.
10-4, but you're out of it, correct?
Sounds like.
Trooper Grinder has himself and a few troopers. They're going to hit the roads outside of our immediate vicinity and just look for him walking down roadway somewhere.
3301, Long Hollow Pike has been cleared. Stone House, several outbuildings have been cleared. They're unlocked if anyone else wants to look.
I just sent you the endangered poster. If you can put that on our social media, please. 12 to 188. Please. Did y'all check inside each one of those buses behind TW Hunter? 247, we checked them all. Okay, well, we're about the three closest to the building. We had Trenchville to respond to the area of National Pike and Carrion Road. There's a juvenile in that area wearing black pants and a red t-shirt. I was shaking back and forth like he had autism. It was just reported to us.
Outside of Long Hollow from Kellen Lane to Center Point has been checked.
Can you check the field houses that are up on top of the hill by the practice field back behind TW Hunter? I don't see that anybody has tracked through there on foot. Simple. The barn and my starting location's clear. Residents in barn at 3221 Long Hollow Pike is clear. And from my starting location to Shackle Island, I've left the entire creek bed and it appears clear. Myself and 182 have been behind TW Hunter, all the way behind Beach, football field and baseball field, up in the fields, checking tree lines, all the way to the cemetery, behind Beach Grove Presbyterian. We're still here so far, cleared. Myself and 182, we've not made ourselves around to the front of the schools, inside the school yet. We're still in the back. Very well, we get on Long Hollow Pike. 3 is.
Go ahead, 3.
The bus and the shed have been checked at 3220. Thank you. Union Partners stop at Willow Bend and go house to house, Willow Bend. Check all those, please. See what people have driven through.
I thought the same thing, Noni.
Yeah, well, every house on Honeysuckle has been checked. People that answer the door have only seen the trash man this morning, nothing else. The White House and Red Barn adjacent to DW owner 2105 New Hope is clear.
3417 THP has joined in with myself and 517 on Willow Bend to check houses.
The big holding pond has been cleared by Hendersonville Fire. They're going to rehab at Shackle Island for a bit, then go to the one over by the cemetery.
Field house is behind the beach. Soccer field's been searched. We're going to head over to the side field house across the street from the fire hall.
106, 108, 110, 112, Willowbrook, all check, no contact with any homeowners, and none of these houses have crawl spaces.
Beach football complex.
Were you all still searching that area?
Yes, sir.
Made contact with a realtor at 114, hasn't seen him, and all the rooms have been cleared. 116, made contact with that homeowner. He said he has seen that child walking in the neighborhood in past times, but not recently.
The main field house next to the freshman annex has been completely searched. All clear. It's got beach softball, beach football. It's the one next to the beachgoing church between it and the freshman annex. It's the main football complex.
Me and Marshall's back here in the back of the cemetery back here.
No contact with anyone, and his truck is not here either.
So I think the lady's here trying to get in her driveway in your cars, and is the key there by chance?
It is, but it's locked.
Okay. Yeah, she's trying to get in the driveway. We haven't had a process.
Call came in at 6:33 this morning.
Great, thank you. You may do it, man. We just put another canine on the ground at the house. See if it picks up anything.
We are breaking off Fury Gallatin for fuel.
Refuel.
The creek from Worshams to New Shackle Long Hollow and the bridge there have all been checked.
What's your location?
Allison, my 109 in Thornton's right now. I just got a phone call. Kid matching the descriptions, hiding under the bridge, lower station camp behind the market. I'll be en route. I'm close. If we get somebody else on the other side of their nursery to come down,
Hello, Kristen.
she stated that he could be on that side.
446. What was the last thing that?
Just under the bridge. She stated that when she went down to turn around, he was gone.
446. Did you talk to the client?
She's still on the bridge.
Sure.
White female, black leggings, I believe. Blonde hair. To her.
447, 446. You seen any tracks that way?
I'm taking the Creek Clover. See any track. 446 to 447. Hold your location, please. I'm on foot now.
10-4. I know they've got the dog up there.
The helicopter's coming back to you. 158 Upper Station.
The residents say that EPA, approximately 5 minutes ago, somebody walked through that gate right below you.
There's somebody in black. Yeah.
There's a deputy at 158. I saw somebody in black on the tree line. I don't know if it's one of our guys.
Yeah, there's two law enforcement guys walking back here off the tree line. Let's go through there.
12 to 24. How long have they lived in that house?
A year.
Where were we at before?
Cambridge Farms, Gal. 449 Remington in Cambridge Farms. White male, gray t-shirt, white pants. They didn't get to see his face, kind of shaggy blonde hair.
We'll be out at Lower Station, Scarlet, and Big Station with a white male juvenile, a four-wheeler in the creek.
Who checked out with the juvenile on Station Gal?
This is not going to be our missing juvenile. He's with his father in the creek. I made contact with the male, the caller, and him and the trail called about. It's not our subject.
Okay. So, hello, Pitter Patter. Good to see you. Kristen, I agree. We were listening to that just because of the video that we watched prior to that, stating that a newscast had stated that Sebastian was seen walking near his house after midnight. And so we just kind of wondered if something was brought up on the dispatch recording about that. And there wasn't really. I just thought maybe they'd have something on there that somebody called in and said something, but they didn't. Most of us here believe that Sebastian never walked out of the house on his own accord. And yeah, they, but I think that's what, isn't that what Chris and Katie made everyone believe, that Sebastian walked out of the house? Right. So, but you think that the law enforcement would not totally listen to everything that the parents said, but would have done things right the first time around. In my opinion, the house should have been treated like a crime scene. And the police I know that Bobby said there was all kinds of police cars there right away, but on the dispatch, you could hear that they were going out everywhere. So maybe they parked there, but they weren't there. And then they were calling them, come back to Stafford right away. Come back to Stafford. Well, it was so unorganized. It was incredible. That house nobody should have been inside there. That's the first, I didn't even realize that there was 4 people besides Katie in that house. That's what the police officer said in the dispatch. 4 people beside Katie. So that's, and Katie shouldn't have even been in there. They should have shut it down until they got crime scene detectives to be able to go through the house the way that they needed to. Because that's what they're supposed to do. But they didn't do that. Right? So then the other video that I wanted to play was the mop crew. And this is about the car. That mysterious car, right? So let's go ahead and play that one. I'm going to try to get through everything that I wanted to get through tonight. Pitter patter. How can they believe anything that's been said? So much lies. I know. Well, yeah. I mean, and we found Chris in another lie, right? Where he said that law enforcement, how many times did we hear Chris say, I can't answer that, law enforcement doesn't want me to? Well, sorry, Chris, you got caught in that lie, because Detective Carter said that they can't tell anybody not to say anything. That they never said that. So, another lie Chris was caught in. And what's this, guys? I've been hearing that nobody has seen Katie for quite a while. I mean, and I've been kind of reading Honk's things. And even he's wondering where she is. Please don't tell me that law enforcement does not know where she is. Right? I mean, the amount of ignorance I've seen in this case was alarming. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that comment. Kid shaking like autism. Come on. Okay, I've never been around an autistic child, right? I never have. But I can honestly say my vision of an autistic child is someone who kind of stays to themselves, right? Not one who shakes. I mean, that's furthest from my mind, right? Furthest from my mind. Oh, thank you so much, Cheryl. That's awesome. Appreciate that. And but yes, I mean, I can't even I don't know how people can make snap judgments like that. I just don't get it. To me, somebody who's shaking is probably cold, wet. I don't know, scared. All I know is someone will be a runner. Right. Right. Someone who's guilty, you mean? See, and that's the sense I get, Noni. Your youngest grandson is highly functioning autistic and very much live in his own world. That's the sense I get from autistic children. I mean, that's the things I've heard. And I hadn't looked into it very much at that time. And now since, I mean, I think we've all learned a lot about autism. Those of us that didn't know anything have learned a lot about autism, right? But yeah. So yeah. No, me either, Kristen. I don't appreciate yeah. They made him sound like well, I can't even use the word I'm thinking in my head. I just won't go there. I just won't. But I'm sure you can imagine what I'm thinking. And, sad. No loving parent would ever talk about their child in that way. None would, in my opinion. And they did. Every single time they talked about Sebastian, they couldn't help pointing out negatives. And I don't honestly believe everything that they say. Even Seth at one point said, they're talking about things that Sebastian hasn't done since he was 4 years old. Right? I agree, Noni. That officer's comment could be offensive. Yeah. Especially for future similar situations. I mean, yeah. And Sebastian, if you can hear us, we love you and you're special. I also feel you're way smarter than the 2 adults you were living with. Amen to that. We love you and we want you home, Sebastian. Come home, son. Come home to your dad. He needs you badly. He's looking for you. He's crying for you. He needs you. So let's go ahead and share my screen for the mob crew. All right.
It takes away my mic sometimes, which is weird. Okay, that looks good.
I like this colorful
let me know in
microphone.
chat. But yeah, big news for me. I don't know how I missed this before, but I think we may have the identity of this mysterious car. I can't say 100%.
It's kind of funny.
But we'll kind of go over the context of everything so you guys can understand, how we got to this point. And I know more people will kind of tune in. So before we get right to the car and everything, kind of go over a little bit of the timelines. That allows people to come in, and that way I can make sure my stream is going well. But I was originally going to go over the footage, but Dog did release 10 more minutes. It's kind of just before and as they arrive to the Texas Roadhouse, and then it shows a little bit of them when they just order food. I did look at that, like not 100%. But while I was doing that, I came across some other stuff, and then that led me to a post that SF Investigates posted tagging me. Because as you guys know, I've been trying to debunk some of the stuff he's put out, especially regarding the lights, because, I've spent a lot of time on the lights. And in my opinion, I feel like with all the stuff that we know and that's been released, those lights, whatever they are, they're going on behind somewhere between the Proudfoots' backyard
I don't know,
and the neighbors.
Between vehicles.
So anyway, I know a lot of people have been talking about the green hoodie and that there was allegedly, they felt like this could be the identity, yet this lady has passed away, and I believe it's like Chris.
Okay. I'm just going to put out here that, first of all, I don't think that they should have shown this picture. Many people have shown it. I think that that's awful. I do not think, look at the chin. I do not think that that was Green Hoodie. Okay. Do we know if Green Hoodie died? I don't know. But I don't believe that that was Green Hoodie. I could very well be wrong. But either way, let Melissa rest in peace. Because, yeah. This right here, guys, putting out a name when you don't know what's going on, that's doxing. Okay? And it's wrong. So, I did talk about it, but you didn't see me bringing out naming her and showing her picture and stuff. Just because Dreaming of Blue Skies, good to see you. I just, I really watch myself in that area, right? If I'm doing things that aren't legal, how can you guys trust me? How can you trust what I'm bringing to you, right? I'm not going to do that. I'm always going to watch myself on that. Will I make mistakes? I'm sure that I probably will, right? I'm sure I will. But I really try my best to always do the right thing. I'll try to address things as I see them. But if I'm not honing in on a certain thing, there's usually a reason for it. You can ask me if you want, and I'll give you an answer. But I agree. Noni. And they haven't in this case, have they? I mean, they just haven't. And it makes you wonder, because they put out that letter that Green Hoodie was cleared, right? And that they spoke with her on December 13th. And maybe they feel that I don't know. I'm not going to try to second guess law enforcement, but this person died in November. So if she was Green Hoodie, which I don't believe, Green Hoodie had a pretty much square chin, kind of almost like a rectangular face. This person has almost like a heart-shaped face. And younger than this person. And how do I know that? I know that because of the way that Green Hoodie was walking when she went to go step up on the step. She steps up like me. I'm older. I'm more careful. I have osteoporosis. I'm more. I don't want to fall and break anything, so I'm more careful and I'm unsteady on my feet sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes, right? That's the way Green Hoodie was walking. So that's my opinion on that. And I'm not trying to say anything wrong against Chris either. Please don't get me wrong there. I think he does a great job. And I appreciate everything that he has done with the flashlight video and this vehicle as well. He's done a really good job. I think he's addressing this stuff because I think every creator feels like they need to address anything that comes out in the Sebastian Rogers case, because that's what people are looking for, right? Sometimes we just have to hold ourselves back. That's my opinion. Let's continue on.
Proudfoot's stepsister or something like that, but I've also been now hearing that is not true. Now, again, I don't know 100% either way. So, but anyway, I feel like the car is a bigger thing, because if this is not true, and I'm hearing at least through some people that this lady may not be important. Again, I don't know 100%, but again, I think the car is much bigger, because we've been studying this damn thing for so long, and we may actually have kind of the identity of the car, and I'll kind of explain that. But let's go over the timeline just to allow people to get in.
Betsy, great.
There was also another thing that because of this footage, before we get to the car, I was able, because the other footage from the Texas Roadhouse, the car, it's kind of cut off at the top, but now because they're pulling in and it's kind of daylight, because when they pull out, it's kind of dark and it's hard to see. But if you guys have been watching my lives, you guys know that that Sweetie Pilo had interviewed the neighbor that lives across the street from the Proudfoots. She has the Ring camera. And everything that she had talked about that relayed back to Sweetie Pilo and that she talked on her show, a lot of it has been, corroborated. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And she mentions that, let me see if I can find it here. Well, I'll play it here in a minute, but she talks about a dash cam. And so I wanted to see, could we see if there's a dash cam? And I believe, let me get it set up here. Okay. As she kind of pulls in, we do see something that comes down. That's not the best view, but there is something like black, and it's not the usual. I have a reference as well, but I think I put it before this video. Again, I was working on one thing, and then I realized the SF actually released the car, and that I just completely went to that. So, but anyway, maybe we'll have to do a separate live on that. But
so
But she did mention that there was a dash camera, which also makes me question. She used that, obviously, it was on when she left him to Texas Roadhouse, according to her source. And it does look like there is a dash cam in that window. And I think it's interesting that a week later, according to her, that they asked for this footage is almost like a proof of life. And why would they need to do that? A week later, she needs to, show this audio that, he actually made it home. So I find that very interesting. I know I mentioned that before, but this is the first time I could actually see the car much clearer from this new Texas Roadhouse footage where you can.
It's like, oh, Katie had dash cam footage. Oh, maybe we should see that. Gee. Good investigative skills, right?
Actually kind of see the you can see the black thing that looks pretty much, in my opinion, like a dash camera. And I don't know why a neighbor would just come up with some kind of story like that, and the time frame of it that she mentioned. And this is like 9 months ago when that interview came out, and a lot of it is been cooperated. So anyway, let me place timeline so I can read chat, and then we'll start getting into the car. I'll get the context of everything so you guys can understand how we kind of got to this point.
That really matters. So there's a lot of speculation. When was he last seen? 6:30 on Sunday night.
Oh my goodness. Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Oh, you are so sweet. Blessing us on your birthday. What a sweetheart you are. Streaming of Blue Skies. I hope. I always think I have to click that off and then I click it a second time. Let's see, there was something else. It's all stuff we have to go over. Ellie isn't telling us anything and we hang on what we can. That's right. It really is. Let's see, Ginger said, I watched us go south on X. Honk said Green Hoodie was a neighbor of the Proudfoots and that he heard that she may have passed away. Then someone asked, and this lady's name popped up. Yeah. And yeah, so it's all like circumstantial. There's just, oh, thank you. You did it twice. You did it 3 times. Goodness sakes. Thank you, Dreaming. You're so sweet. Aw. We love Lacey giving her 2 cents. Oh my goodness. I wish I could teach her to say thank you in barking language. That'd be fun. Hello, SRB. Good to see you. Oh my. It was awesome. Oh my goodness. I need to fix that. It's all Christmas, isn't it? I just realized that. Happy birthday to you. I hope you have an awesome day. Oh, we appreciate you. Oh, I'm glad, SRB. Good. I'm glad. I'm so glad. You're very welcome. Did you get the? Oh, I suppose I had to delete that. One of these nights I'll be on and I'll have her come up on the couch again by me. Some people got to see her. But I'll have to do that again. All right. So I'm going to kind of skip ahead to where he's talking about the car. Hopefully. Okay.
So, did she alert? Well, it doesn't sound like it, according to this van, that she just pulled in, pulled right back out. But I would think you would probably, if you drove all the way there, wouldn't you just say, hey, like, by the way, I woke up, I can't find my son. Just by chance, if he shows up, could you alert the staff, to be on the lookout for this missing child?
That's fun.
All right, we got 1,000 people in here. Thank you guys so much. We're going to get to the car here in just a second.
Mom comes out. It could have even been 6:30. It was sometime in that window. Mom comes out. She sees neighbors. There's multiple neighbors outside at that point, and she starts saying, I can't find Sebastian anywhere. I can't find him anywhere. Now, I don't think she's much said that part of the story, that she actually came outside of her home.
And that's from the neighbor. That's literally from this vantage point. That's the neighbor across the street. That's her source that she spoke to. And she's looking at her Ring camera, seeing, what Katie was doing that morning.
Do we have an estimated time of start for the search process?
Chemistry Queen
Call
says,
came in at 6.
Thanks for your meticulous work. Much love for Louisiana. Thank you so much, Chemistry Queen. Cutie Pie, you do great work. Love your channel. Thank you so much. And Jazz coming in with a gifted Mob Crew membership. Thank you so much. Always gifted memberships. That is so awesome. Lisa says, thank you for your dedication, Chris. Love and mods. Thank you so much. We've got Scorpio Mom 82. Thank you so much for becoming a member, supporting this channel. Lisa says, Dog the Bounty Hunter needs to put Chris on his crew for real. I appreciate that. You guys truly, you guys are amazing. We have such a wonderful community. That means the world to me, Lisa. Thank you so much. Haley says, hello, Chris. Hope all is well. Member for 2 years, 25 months.
Charity.
That's so
good to see you.
And then we have Geneva. Hi, Chris. You rock. Geneva, thank you so much for 27 months supporting this channel. That is so awesome.
33 this morning.
All right, we're going to get to the car here in about 5 minutes.
Then she got into her vehicle, went over, I think, what was the school, potentially. That's what it's believed anyway. She was only gone for about maybe, let's say, 10 minutes at most, maybe 5 to 10 minutes at most. Came back.
And again, like, how would you, like, what was the point of even driving there? I'd get maybe if you're scanning, like, both sides of the road. But if you went all the way to the school, and if it's true, and like I said, we can only speculate right now until we actually see the actual evidence. But what's the point of even pulling in and then just peeling back out? I mean, again, unless you're just scanning the road, again, I have to look at it from all sides. But I do find that's weird. And then, of course, we have this kind of 30-minute, time frame where it doesn't make sense to her story, because she says she wakes up and within minutes she's already on the phone with Chris, and then they allegedly call, but yet the call doesn't come in until like 6:33, according to that that clip I played just a minute ago. So very strange. It seems like there is a big time gap there.
I was going to be wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants.
Still on search of the residence.
Okay.
So after I looked, and I mean, mind you, all of this took place in like 1 minute flat, but I didn't see him in his room. I looked all over. I ran through the whole house. I looked out all the doors and windows.
Do we have an estimated time of start for the search process?
Call came in at 6:33 this morning.
Great.
So again, it's so weird, with her saying, one statement, she says 1 minute flat, and then this interview, she says 3 minutes, so 1 to 3 minutes still.
Makes my
She allegedly woke up at 6, which for I think 6 and 6:03, and then leaves somewhere around 6:20, 6:30, and then the call comes in around 6:33, according to that log. So again, like, you would have to spend more time searching for him. But I mean, she's pretty clear on that. She's only spent a few minutes before she's on the call with Chris. So again, like, what's going on? Where's,
house. I looked out all the doors and windows.
Right.
It's really odd.
Do we have an estimated time?
Okay.
Take.
All right, let's get to the car, guys, because I cannot believe.
Yes.
Oh, one more thing before we get to the car. All right, sorry. Also, we noticed that she has an Apple Watch. Another good question. Again, I know Apple can be, to get the logs and stuff. I know there's been some issues with that, but it'd be interesting to know if they could get that data. What's the movement of the watch in the phone?
Me either.
And if she kept the watch on her, at night when she sleeps, what if they could compare that night, February 25th, to the days prior? Are they, the same? Like,
he needs to come on Granny's Crime Busters show and let us all tell him what we think. I laugh, but that probably wouldn't be funny. It probably wouldn't be good. Oh. Oh, goodness. We'd all be telling him a thing or two, right? I mean, every one of us. I just let y'all come up on screen. We can only have, I think, 10 at a time. I let you come up one time. We could all tell them what we think. Wouldn't that be fun?
Is it kind of the same routine? Does she get up? Does she move around? Or does it just stay there? Again, just something to think about. But I don't know if they can get that stuff without some kind of, obviously, search warrant. Lady Rose, I would have went right into the school if my child was missing. Right. Yeah, you would think if you went all the way there, you would notify staff and be like, hey,
oh, gosh.
Just in case my son, I don't know, maybe he's mad at me or something and just wandered to school. Can you let me know and let the staff know to be kind of on the lookout, because he could be missed, yeah. And keep an eye out for any nefarious activity you may see. Okay, so, all right, we're going to get to the car now. So let me kind of explain everything, because...
Yeah, and as much as I've been trying to be good and stay out of it all, that would be horrible, wouldn't it be? SRB, I would be known all over the YouTube streets. Oh, man. I don't think he'd come in here. That would shock me, but it would be funny.
It's been there for about a week now, and I can't believe I missed it. So, as you guys know, obviously, I've been debunking a lot of stuff that SF put out. Now, of course, he did. I was wrong about this camera, and because he showed the garbage truck coming at 5 a.m. or something like that. And, we could see the skybox, and, obviously it looked like this. And so it looked like it was, light was starting to come up a little bit. And so,
I don't think I'm willing to risk a quiet space.
Compared to the 3 a.m. lights, which he still claims is taken at 5 a.m. Well, I'm like, well, look at the skybox. But he is right on this. So anyway, this is very important. So remember, we heard stories that there was 2 cars, right? There was a Uber car. Now, originally it was thought to be around 5:30, and this car picked up a guy to take him to the airport. But now it looks like that, which most of that was true. The only thing is it wasn't 5:30, it was actually 3:30. So I was a little bit off, but it is true. So we have the car, the Uber car. Here it is. I'm pretty sure this is the driver. And we can see that he has his trunk open. And I'm assuming, he's getting the car ready. He's in shorts. So that's why I think it's the driver and not the homeowner, because we can actually even see the driver door open. So I think he's just getting, everything ready for the guy to come out, bring his luggage out, and, get him to the airport or wherever he's going. So makes sense. But then he posted something else, and the way he posted it made me think that they were the same car. And so I didn't think much of it, but I don't think they're the same car. Now, just to kind of, back up SF on this, because obviously he posted this to, prove me wrong about the lights in the daytime, which he is right. But, and I wanted to make sure that he didn't tamper with the timestamp, because obviously, you could technically tamper with the timestamp or put your own timestamp, and like cut it off, crop, the video a little bit, and then just put your own timestamp in. But we can see, compared to the one that's actually moving with the garbage truck, it all lines up. Obviously you could Photoshop some timestamps, but to actually mirror the exact one that's the real one, you would see imperfections around the numbers, because we have all these different, we have, some tree limbs, we got part of the garage. It would be a mess. So it'd be very clear. So anyway, moving on. Okay. So then I showed, just to back up what he was saying, that because this camera, it has what's called like nighttime mode, which is really amazing. It makes it look like, as you can see, it looks like it's just kind of dawn, right? But this is, I can't remember which one's which, but one of them's 3 a.m. and the other one's 5 a.m. But as you can see, they looked exactly the same, and we can see so much details. We can see the car across the street, the homes. So it's an amazing camera. And that camera is located up on Killen Ave, a little bit further up. And I'm just kind of showing you, it's not this one, it's a little bit up here. It is this one right here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that one. Anyway, just so you have an idea of where that camera's at. But anyway. Okay, here we go. Oh, sorry, guys. I am just trying to... Perfect. Okay. So now to give you some context. So, like I said, I was debunking a lot of his stuff, but oh, gosh, dang it. I promise this is big.
Okay, Noni.
So he posted 3 different videos, clearly to get my attention. And again, I don't spend as much time on Twitter as he does. But then people had told me about it. So again, here's him talking, despite the homeowner repeatedly insisting that the video was recorded at 5:10 a.m., the trash truck enters the frame in the unseen portion of footage. So here he's trying to say that the lights video takes place around 5:10, just before the trash truck comes. But again, I think that's hogwash. And then he talks about, however, the 509 footage that was recorded on true night color surveillance camera. And he talks about how the camera, it obviously is very good, and it'll appear like it's kind of like daylight. And then he says Uber footage side by side with his example, even at 3:30, and he did it like a side by side where I showed the mysterious video. Obviously, proving me wrong, which again, I was wrong on that. But here he's talking about that car being the Uber car. This is very important to get the whole context of everything. I promise you, this will be a big discovery here in just a second. So he shows this, he plays part of my video, and then kind of shows this at the end and saying this is the Uber driver, yada, yada, yada. And then he posted another video and showed this. Now, at the time, I didn't think much of it. I was still, interested to see this. Obviously, any footage that we can see or screenshots, it's something. But if we look down here, we see that the time. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I got this. Apologies here. We can see the timestamp is 2:58. Right. Keep that in mind. And look at the car. Right. We see a car, but we see it's got this block. Right. Which I thought was weird, but the way he posted it almost makes it seem like this is the Uber driver, right? But we can tell that the car is moving. Notice how the tail lights, we've got this line. I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen movies or anything where, just even in life, but especially still shots when cars are moving, the lights are kind of extended out. That just happens. Forget the exact term for it, but I'm sure most of you guys know what I mean. So obviously the tail light isn't that big. It's just kind of, obviously it's moving. So we can tell it's moving and it's going to go past that driveway. This is, in my opinion, this is not the Uber car, which when he originally posted this, I thought it was, because obviously it's the same house.
You see what's covered,
and you could almost make it look like, well, he's just going to get ready to back in. But if you look at the time, it's 30 minutes before, which, why is this guy showing up like a half hour early? And, I get shown up early, but
what Uber driver do you know of that would show up a half hour early, guys? And look what he covered here. Windows. The way these lights are shining, were you able to see something in those windows? I'm sorry, that PI needs to be shut down, in my opinion. I think he's dirty.
Even then talks about this nefarious car. And again, why, here, I'll show you something as well. So again, here's the Uber driver. Notice we can see the car. The car is not blacked out anyway, other than the possible license plate. Now we see it's 3:33. Thank you. You guys are amazing. But this is the car. I am like 90% sure, because here I only proofread this, but it didn't hit me, because I thought, oh, this is just the Uber car he's showing. And he's showing like it parked, and then he's showing a clip, where it's just arriving. But, then today when I looked at it, I don't know how I came across it again. I was looking at it. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'll talk about that here in a second. But let's read this real quick. Mob Crew then goes to imply that the 3 a.m. car is nefarious, which I do think it's a nefarious car. That just means, it's weird. Why is it have its lights off and then turns them on, in that area. If it was in a driveway, it makes sense, or, it's just weird. So I say it's nefarious. And then he continues to say, must belong to the responsible party because it fits his fabricated 3 a.m. lights video narrative. Well, again, we've heard from sources and from the video itself that, now, of course, the timestamp is broken, but it's very interesting because this car does actually show up around that time, which, again, leads me to some other theories as well, as was there a dry run days before? We'll get to that a little bit later. To disprove this, here's a screenshot of the vehicle. So again, he is literally implying, I can't believe I missed this. Here he is saying, this is the 3 a.m. nefarious car, well, according to me, shown at 2:58. The vehicle had already passed Stafford Court and was nearly at the top of Killen. Now, he leaves out what it did after that, but I promise you, I'm pretty sure this is the car. We know who owns this vehicle and where it went, according to him, but, he's not going to tell us that. And I would think law enforcement would have came out with that if this whole lights video was just
especially
nonsense.
that time in the
I think
morning.
they would have probably, explained that a long time ago.
Why would you be that early?
Mob Crew's implication that the 3 a.m. vehicle is involved is completely incorrect. I only say it's, of course, you can't speculate anymore. But anyway, continuing on, these are significant errors. He trusts an unreliable source over actual investigative work. So let's go back to what we heard from the.
I don't necessarily agree with him there. He said we can't speculate anymore. Well, I don't know. I mean, even law enforcement has to speculate in order to get somewhere in a case, right? You just don't state things as fact. You don't state things as 100% fact if you don't know, if you're speculating. You state, in my opinion, allegedly, here's what I think, kind of deal. Any kind of mystery, you're speculating. Now, I don't know if he's maybe just a tad bit scared because SF is coming at him. There's no doubt about it, right? Yeah. Yeah. Could have been. So why would this person hold back information from anyone? See, what we do know is that SF and a couple other people, who we won't mention here, creators, had gone through the neighborhood and were asking for ring cam, security cam footage. So evidently he had gotten, this footage. Okay. Did he show it to law enforcement? Did law enforcement already have it? We don't know. But he put it out to disprove the Mob Crew. So that's kind of what's going on, Kristen, as far as he put it out to disprove Mob Crew's theory, but instead it only kind of reinforced that it was the car. Because 2:58 a.m. is close to 3:10, right? So the car had already passed Stafford Court and was near the top of Killen, parked. And from what everyone is saying, it went to the construction area and came back down. So, Yeah, SF doesn't like him to speculate. Yeah, he calls him out on it. So that's what's going on. Bingo. Bingo. Yes. And that's what the mob crew is trying to do. But SF works for the Proud Feet. He's been hired by the Proud Feet. So that tells you something right there. And what other PI goes on Twitter calling out people? I mean, I've never hired a private investigator, guys, but I always thought they were like almost kind of like undercover cops, right? Like they tailed people, they do things kind of anonymously to find out stuff, right? And this guy, nothing like that. Yeah, we've heard plenty of speculation out of him for sure, right? For sure. But yes, I mean, it is frustrating. It's very frustrating. And I understand Chris wanting to go over everything to kind of disprove him, but yeah. No one is eliminated as a suspect and no scenario is fully I agree with you. I agree with you. And in my opinion, I think Chris from the mob crew should have just said, "Oh, guys, I was wrong about the time, but look at this," you know, and just gave his opinion instead of telling all this, right? Yeah, kind of private as you hired them yourself, but everything's on the down low. I agree. That's the way I looked at him. Yeah, amen, Ginger. I would want them giving information to Ellie, not putting it on the internet to fight with another person trying to help find my child. Yes. Yes. I agree. Yes. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. 5'5", dirty blonde hair. Well, I don't think he was 125 pounds. But he didn't walk anywhere. He didn't walk anywhere. He didn't walk out of that house. Don't believe it for a second. And I believe that this nefarious car that Chris from the mob crew calls it is nefarious. I believe it's involved somehow, some way. We don't know how, right? We really don't. I'm hoping that law enforcement has had all this stuff, right? And has been going through it with a fine-tooth comb to figure out exactly what happened, right? Because if you saw my show last night, Last Scene. Well, where was Last Scene, guys? CJ's right about that. I mean, as far as we know, Last Scene was Texas Roadhouse. Because that's where we can actually see Sebastian. Katie said he took out the trash, but Seth said he saw that video and you couldn't tell if it was Sebastian. But whoever it was had a hoodie on. Right? So, I mean, Katie had a hoodie on that night. I know. And then we have the old sheriff who said that Sebastian walked into that house and never came out again. What's that about? And that sheriff suspiciously gets hit over the head and dies. I mean, come on, guys. How dirty is this case? I really feel like there's a bad element behind things here. I really feel that. And it bothers me. Because my hope and my prayer has always been that Sebastian is alive. I want, until or unless I'm hit over the head with legal information that says he's gone, my stand for our channel has been that he's alive, right? But the more that we hear and the more cover up and garbage that we see, I'm really concerned about the evil, dirty side of things behind the scenes here. And who's involved? Is it police officers? Who is involved in this? Nobody will ever not convince me that somehow, some way, Chris and Katie are involved. If that's the case in the end, when this all comes out and they're not, I will apologize to everybody. But I honestly, with all the lies that they've told, right? The inconsistencies, pleading the fifth. Now nobody knows where she is. Dear Lord, I hope and pray that law enforcement has been watching her and knows where she is. Because they caught Donna Adelson at the airport on her way to Vietnam, which has no extradition treaty with the United States. So I'm hoping and praying that they know exactly where Katie is. And somebody said Chris has an apartment now. I don't know if all this is true, guys. But typically, once stuff like that starts coming out, you have to wonder. Their own words have made. I know. Their own words, their own actions. Everything that they have done from the beginning in this case has only led them to our opinion about them. They've made their own bed. They've made their own bed. I'm going to see if we can kind of skip ahead.
The sources, right? They said that there was 2 cars. One was an Uber. We heard that a long time ago. The only problem, the only difference was, they thought it was at 5 or 5:30. Now we've learned it's at 3:30. But everything else is true. There was 2 cars. One was the Uber, and one was a mysterious car. So here he is, basically verifying what we heard. Just, unfortunately, the time with the Uber driver was a little bit off. But again, that's huge. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. But now let's look at this, because this is where, let's see. Hold on. So remember, this timestamp stuck at 3:11 and it got stuck on Friday, which is so odd. And then we have this mysterious vehicle that comes around. Well, now we know at 2:58, and according to the source, it goes up Kellen, and I'll show what allegedly the car did that we know. Again, speculating. But then it turned around, and then that's when it stopped near the home close to the intersection of Stafford and Kellen. So here we go, 2:58. So that car is going to drive up, allegedly, up to the top of the road, and it's going to turn back around. This is not the Uber driver. Which means it would have showed up probably sometime around, if it didn't do anything else, it would have showed up sometime around 3 a.m. So this 3:11 timestamp, even though it is broken, it's very odd and very, what's the odds that there is actually possibly a 3 a.m. vehicle and it is captured, even though the timestamp is broken at 3:11. And we'll kind of circle back to that, but don't I have? Sorry, guys. Oh, there it is. That's what I'm looking for. Sorry, guys. 1 second, and I'll read chat here in just a minute. Come on. There it is. That's what I wanted. Okay. So this is where it blew me out of the water when I saw this, because this is again, he's even saying this is the 3 a.m. nefarious car. But again, the way he posted it made it look like this was just the Uber car, and it was just kind of pulling in half hour early. But it wouldn't make sense. Why is this guy getting out and ready, 30 minutes later? Again, not to say it couldn't happen, but here's the big issue. One, we can see the car clearly. He doesn't make any attempt to, disguise the car, right? Other than the license plate. But yet, this vehicle here, notice he has kind of blurred out. Now, why would you do that if this, again, was the same Uber driver? Right? Because we can clearly see the car much better in this one. And even if he didn't blur this, we wouldn't be able to see much. Either. But again, why would you block this out? And again, this is the car that shows up half hour before this guy arrived. So in my opinion, this could be very likely the 3 a.m. car. Remember, I told you guys from my sources, not saying that, they've been pretty spot on. But remember, and it's been mentioned by other creators, even before the interview with the neighbor, even Sweetie Pilo talked about, they thought this was some kind of sedan. It was mentioned sedan. That was the, main description, a dark sedan. And, well, let's kind of look at it here. But in my opinion, this is huge. So we need to, like I said, I just found this an hour, maybe hour and a half before I did this live. And you guys know how I like to put, I spend hours putting lives together because your guys' time is valuable to me. So I want to always, have my bullet points and, show put together. So we're just going to look at this car for a minute. And I'm going to do an overlay. And then we'll also overlay some cars on it as well. I wish I had more time to do it. If you guys want, maybe we could overlay a few more cars. But again, this matches up with what we've heard, that there was 2 cars. The first one was the mysterious car around 3 a.m. And here is SF literally showing a car at 258 going up killing, which is what we heard. And then it turned around. And again, I have to, there's going to be some stuff I have to do. It's tough because, of course, the car was moving. So the taillight, it's hard to match up the taillight because obviously the taillight is, moving. And there's just so much that we're missing. Also, I find it so interesting now, kind of overlaying this, why we cannot see the headlights from the car. And it does make me wonder if somebody is actually standing to the left side of the car and blocking the headlights as the car kicks on, if that makes sense. So I kind of put Sebastian here as kind of a reference point.
Interesting.
But let me know in chat. But if you look, we've tried, to figure out this, one thing we thought this could have been exhaust from the car. And when the lights kicked on, this was kind of exhaust. And it does look like that. We did kind of overlay that. And then there's also where
Michelle,
the car on the ground
on the
where it
screen
lights
there.
up, and it kind of does make this C shape. I think we're just kind of missing the other part of it just because the angle and the, again, we've got like 2nd, 3rd generation videos. So we're missing a lot, right? But it's so weird that we cannot see the headlights. So it does make me wonder, is somebody standing near like the front door, and from that angle, it's actually blocking the headlights? Because I just cannot imagine how we cannot see the headlights of the car. When we look at the car driving, like, look how bright the headlights on the car is. So I do wonder, what is something blocking that? Let me know what you guys think in that, but that's really bothered me because I really think this is just, lights on the road a little bit. Obviously the tail light could be something moving, clearly subject. Oh, actually you can't see that. Clearly.
So anyway, you guys get the point of what he's trying to say. And Queen, no, I've never directly asked him, but I always give him credit for what I'm playing. And I've used his content before. He's never said anything to me. Usually I look in their descriptions to see if there's something. But let's see what else we got going on here. Yeah, the black car isn't red. Let's see. I'm praying that, yeah. That law enforcement has all the camera footage. I'm praying and I'm hoping that they do, right? As far as, why did the car go up and around? People have opinions on that, was someone picked up at the construction site first? I mean, I don't know, right? Gotcha. I thought he did. I'm not concerned. It's fair use unless you're copyrighted, pretty much. Hello, Nutter. Good to see you. I know, right? I hate grocery shopping. I hate grocery shopping. Like, Passion. I hate it. I hate it. Yeah. Yeah, Mob is really good. He just doesn't like it when SF tries to use it and then try to discredit him, because he does. He puts in a lot of work on his stuff. You know, and I mean, he did a good job of putting those flashlights right where they were. You know, I believe beyond a shadow of a doubt that what he has said about the flashlights, where they were positioned and everything, I fully believe that he is 100% correct on that. Nobody can ever get me to think that it was a trash truck going down the common area of yeah, between the houses. Trash trucks don't do that. They stay on the road. So, but yes, I mean, the only thing that I did have a question about, I know he said the car was moving, but the tail light looked like it didn't match up, because the original tail light was up and down, and that sedan, the tail light was going sideways. It wasn't up and down. Unless the only other thing I can think of is that, like, when you put on your brakes, like if they turn on the lights and put on the brakes, sometimes another light will come on and that will make it look like it's up and down. But yeah, he does work really hard. Because the last thing he ever wants to do, and why do you think SF went after him, right? Because he knows that he is accurate. He knows that the mob works really hard, that Chris works really hard in putting out his stuff, and that he wants to be accurate. He knows that. That's why he went after him. And it's so frustrating, isn't it? I mean, when you see good people being slandered, and so he was wrong about the time. Well, he didn't have a time, and he was just trying to figure it out by the sky, which is really hard to do when you have cameras that are taking these videos or still photographs, whatever they were, in the middle of the night. And you've got a light showing here or there, that all affects the entire picture, right? And but he's not afraid to come out and say, I was wrong, right? And that's a person you can trust. That's a person you can trust. So yeah, I'll go back and see, did I miss anything else? Is Ellie still clueless on where Sebastian is? Well, I don't know. Allegedly, we're supposed to get some news. Here, Tony has said. So I don't know. I think law enforcement knows a lot more than we think they do. Honestly. And so, they're just not going to tell us everything. They're not. Yeah, off-road garbage truck, right? Well, yes, that's the last thing they're going to allow happen. Yeah, I wouldn't want him on my lawn saying, get off my lawn, right? I mean, guys, that's why we take our trash to the curb. end of the driveway to the curb, right? That's typically why. Yeah. Yeah. So, as far as this other car, I don't really know. I mean, I trust Chris. I trust what he's saying. I do question why the car went up and back before it stopped. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that the DA is looking very closely at this case, for sure. Wouldn't it be nice to be a fly on the wall? I'd really like to know, right? But there's a way to remove that overlay. I've heard that said before. Anyone know? What overlay? Oh, the black one on that car. Somebody more tech savvy than me would have to know what to do, because I wouldn't know. Yeah, I have a feeling it shows somebody in there that doesn't want to be seen. You need to be a lot of flies. Well, if each one of us in here could be a fly and we just distribute ourselves out and about, and then we come back and tell everything we know, right? That would be awesome. But it wouldn't be as much fun as we have now. Right. But Queen SF put out that footage with the black on it. So he's purposely hiding it. So we don't have the original footage. Hello, Gigi. Good to see you. I think we need to leave him alone. Do I need to make another funny a funny picture, guys? No, I can see it good enough. I don't think I need to make another one. Have you guys seen Hongs lately? If you don't watch Hong's Twitter, you really need to. I don't well, here, I'll show you one. It's funny. Oh, man. All right, I'll share my screen. Oh, this is a song.
Chris and Key, with a plot so uncouth, little Sebastian, tucked away from sight. We won't tell where, till he's grown right. Hello from the basement, where secrets we keep. We've hired Steve to make sure you don't sleep. With lies and disruption, we've painted the scene. We'll make you believe what we want you to see. Illuminati did us, they play their part. On YouTube Live, they act with deceit in their heart. Spinning tales, they're part of our scheme, but we're the ones pulling the strings from our lair. Texana Fernandez, tragedies are trade, cashing in on sorrow with a witch's charade. We've tapped into the Proudfoot's kin to deceive, crafting our narrative in which we believe. Hello from the dark side, where we've made our bed.
Okay, that's enough of it. I don't think I'll get hit for that song. It's not. Oh, it's H. You can see it right on the screen. Let me make it a little bigger. See it better now? So that is why I don't show off mullet flies. Yeah, and that could be true. Blurring it out, yeah. I mean, yeah, that you guys, you bring up a good point. He could just be doing that just to try and make it look like something's going on, but yeah, I that's why I don't show all Hong's things, because they're just, interesting. They're good for a laugh. Sometimes I just watch them and I shake my head. Yeah. I go mainly to see if there's any new news, right? But I first look at night, and then I look at Nick, and then I look at Dog, and then I look at Hong, because I know I'm going to be stuck on Hong for a while, because he's got a lot of stuff going on there every day. I know. Oh, inbreds, yeah. But he is funny. He's hilarious. I'll bet he keeps Nick laughing. They're pretty good friends, I think, and I think that keeps Nick laughing. Oh. So, I think what we'll do is we'll end it tonight with my grannyism. So no one knows the future, but the present offers clues and hints on its direction. I mean, this can go for anything, but I thought, it really does kind of apply here, right? Because we don't know what the future is going to bring. We don't know where Sebastian is. We don't know for sure who's responsible, right? But the present offers clues and hints on its direction. Just which clues and which hints do we have to look at? Because there's an awful lot of clues and hints out there. He really upset a lawyer today. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Putting things out that people are going to start breaking it down and analyzing it. Yeah. Yeah. He could be doing that just to, what have they been good at? Distractions. Right, guys? That's a really good point. So maybe that black thing on the car is nothing. Right? Could be totally nothing. I don't, you know, but, what are our clues and what are our hints in the direction of the future for this case? I'd like to know. There's a lot of distractions. Yes. Tony says big news is coming out soon, and let's pray that it is good news. Thank you, Noni. Yeah, it is deep if you think about it. It seems simple, and those are the ones I like the best, right? That can seem, because it's not just a person's own future, right? It can relate to a lot of things in life. And when we're looking at this case, because when we were going back through all those videos in the beginning, right? We were saying things like, wow, now that makes sense. Back then it didn't make sense. Right? Well, when this is all said and done, what clues and hints are we going to have missed the way we did back then when we were watching those first videos in the beginning? So we just have to figure out which ones mean something and which ones aren't distractions, right? Which ones mean something? Obviously, that car means something, or SF wouldn't be trying to hide it so much or say that it was the Uber, right? It means something because we know that there were two cars. We've known that for quite a long time, even though SF is trying to say something different. We've known that for a long time. Right. Hong says he hasn't even started to drop the truth yet. He's just gathering an audience. He is. Well, I think he's trying to make them squirm. And if you think about it, guys, it's working. It's working. You got Katie, who has gone who knows where. She's pled the fifth. Chris has pretty much shut up, other than that one panel he was on. You got SF trying to throw out more distractions than ever, and we won't even get into the rest of the crew over there. You screenshot them all. Why would you want that on your phone or your computer? Chicken soul. Oh, you're talking about my grannyisms. Oh, thank you. I thought you were talking about Hong stuff. I'm sorry. Oh, goodness. Maybe I should make a video of my grannyisms, huh? That way you could all have them. I've saved each one of them. But I was just thinking the other day, I thought, I don't really need to save all these. Yeah. And Ginger says she's going to go back to look for a white Ford pickup truck on the TRH videos. Yeah, and that was something I was thinking about doing. You want me to make a video, SRB? I'll do that. Maybe this weekend. And I was thinking about showing that new one that Dog put out. because I saw somebody take a picture of Sebastian, a still of it, where he was plugging his ears as he was going in. And that bothered me, but he doesn't like loud noises, so that's pretty sad if you think about it. You know, him holding must have been a lot of people out there or something going on that was loud when he first got out of the car. They said he doesn't like loud noises. Well, here's the thing though, Noni, he wants us to laugh. I think he's kind of that kind of person. You know, he wants laughter. He wants laughter. So don't feel bad for laughing at Hong, because that's what he's doing it for. You know, that video I just showed you, that's what he's doing it for. Music being played outside TRH could be. Yeah. And then, you know, it looked like there was a lot of people outside, maybe waiting to get inside. So if there were a lot of people talking and then music being played, yeah. Could have been. And then somebody put out a video. No, a still shot where they said it looked like Sebastian was running behind that white truck. And that one, I didn't screenshot it. Sometimes I do if I think, well, this may be legit. I just didn't think that one was legit for some reason. I couldn't make out a figure behind the truck, number one. So that was kind of why I wanted to go back and look. So we may do that tomorrow night, along with something else if it comes up. Something else comes up. So, all right, we're going to leave it there for tonight. I want to thank everybody, and Dreaming of Blue Skies, if you're still in here, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday. Yes, Deception Detective. I saw that one too. Yeah. So, yeah, we've got a lot of things we could really look at. Starting to come back again, where there's more things coming out about Sebastian, which is good. Because we all like to talk about the case. So, all right, guys, I really appreciate each and every one of you for coming in. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. So much fun being in here with you. So have a wonderful night, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.